This week, we are going to be covering selection and repetition. And a lot of you are going to be familiar with this material because pretty much all coding languages have selection structures because those are if-else structures and switch structures. And they also have repetition structures, which are loops. And so you're going to learn how to do all of that in JavaScript. So the reading assignment is either chapter 4 in the book or a couple of web articles, basically on selection or looping. And then we'll go through the key concept lecture. And so I do have the videos embedded into the lecture demo, but basically we start off with comparison operators and logical operators, because you have to use those for the condition being checked in a selection structure or a repetition structure. So we're going to look at the comparison operators. And then we get into a little bit more complicated operators where you can, check multiple conditions. And those are the logical operators. And then we start talking about the different selection structures, which should be familiar to you if you've had any other coding languages. So if else, and switch are the three that we're going to cover. And they really don't work that much differently in JavaScript than they do in other languages. And then we're going to get into repetition, which is while, do while, for, and then something called for in, which is similar to a for each loop, where it, if you're dealing with like an array, it'll automatically process every single element. Okay, so you're going to read through all of this. And as I said, there are videos kind of sprinkled throughout that go through the different concepts with you and explain what is going on in the programming examples. When you are done with that, you're going to complete the lab assignment, which involves downloading a target heart rate program and a graphic. And then you're going to be working with selection structures. Okay, so basically there is a video that kind of walks you through what you need to do in this particular exercise. And I do have English instructions as well as the video. And then for the next task, you're going to download one file and a graphic. And you were actually going to create one type of repetition structure to start with. And then you're going to save it under a different name and create another type of structure. So the example, what you're going to do is very similar to this example. And you'll notice that this one is using a for loop. And so what you are going to start with in this exercise is a for loop as well. You're going to create a for loop that has the user enter their favorite foods, and then you're going to add the food to the array. And so you should only be pulling in the number of items that they indicate they want to add. Okay, and then you will, once they are done entering the items, you are going to loop through, and then you're going to kind of write the items back to the page and display them. So this example is basically having the user enter how many lucky numbers they have, and then they enter each of those lucky numbers, and then this loops through and kind of writes them back out to the screen. So you're going to start with a for loop, and then you're going to take that same code save it as my favorites while loop, and you're going to convert the for loop to a while loop. And then you're going to open up your for loop code again and convert the for loop to a do while loop. Okay, so you're going to end up with 3 separate files here that do the 3 different types of loops. And then for the last one, this you're going to do more on your own. And I do have a similar example for you to look at, but you are going to create a BMI calculator. So in the example that I've given you, they enter the age and the months till their birthday, and then you're going to figure out, basically, well, I'll show you how it works. Okay, so kind of looks at the number of months, figures out how old they are. What you're going to do here is they're going to enter the weight and the height, and you're going to hit calculate, and it's going to calculate the BMI. And this is the equation for the BMI. So what you're doing is very similar to this. The difference is you're calculating BMI instead of what their current age is. Okay, how you format your page is up to you, but that is basically what you're going to be doing. And then you will be transferring all of those pages to the web and submitting done in the Dropbox when you have finished. After you finish the assignment, there is a Unit 1 quiz that you're going to want to complete. It covers information from lessons 1, 2, and 3. It has a variety of question types, not just true, false, and multiple choice. And it is not timed, and it is open book, open note. So you can practice these types of test questions. You can take the test up to 3 times, and it'll use your highest score. This is so you can get used to answering the types of questions that you are going to get on your certification exam. Okay, so it's to help prepare you for that. And then we do have a course survey that we'd like you to fill out. And finally, as far as other resources goes, we do have on-campus tutoring. So I have a link to those days and hours. And if you would like to see the publisher's PowerPoint presentation on decisions and loops, I do have that for download as well. So if you run into any problems or if you have questions this week, please reach out, let me know, because I am happy to help, and have an awesome week.